Hi guys, and welcome to another Micro Monday. So today we're going to be taking a deep dive into the human microbiome and why it's so important to our health. So what does the microbiome mean? So the human microbiome is a word used for the different microorganisms that live both on and inside of our bodies. So for example, bacteria can be found all over us, such as inside our gut, on our hair, and also on our skin. So you guys might be wondering, well, what bacteria is on and inside my body? Well, it can differ from person to person, but here are a couple of examples that are likely on and inside your body right now. So there's a super common bacteria called Staphylococcus aureus, which is the first image on the left, and that can be found on both your skin and on your hair. A second type of bacteria that you can find in your body is something called bifidobacterium. Now, these are commonly found inside your gut, which is kind of your intestines, and these can actually be found in a lot of probiotic products that you can get in sort of yogurts or from the pharmacies. And we'll be talking more about probiotics on another learning session in this series. And last but not least, the picture on the right shows a bacteria called Streptococcus pneumoniae. Now, this bacteria is commonly found inside your lungs, and as you can probably hear from the name, it can cause an illness called pneumonia. So now you're probably thinking, well, are these bacteria good for us or bad for us? Well, it's a little bit of both really. So there's some bacteria that are really good for us, like bifidobacterium. And what these bacteria can do is they can provide us health benefits such as heightening our immune system or helping our digestion, whilst also gaining benefits for themselves such as a safe place to live and nutrients. This relationship is called a symbiotic relationship, which means that both parties benefit. Some other types of bacteria, such as Staphylococcus aureus, are called commensal bacteria, which means that no one really benefits, but the bacteria kind of just hangs out on your skin, in your hair, just chilling, knocking about, not really doing much. However, this type of bacteria are also known as opportunists, which means that if, for example, when you were a kid, you were running around too fast and you got a graze and a cut on your knee, or perhaps if you give yourself a paper cut or something, what can happen is some staph bacteria that live on your skin can say, oh, well, hey, there's a cut on the skin, and they'll start to colonise inside that cut or graze. And what can happen is that can cause an infection and make you quite unwell. So what would happen if these bacteria all just went away? Well, sometimes a person's microbiome can be depleted when, for example, if they've had a really bad illness and their immune system has kind of wreaked havoc on the body, or perhaps they've been in hospital and they've been given some broad spectrum antibiotics over a long period of time. This can affect the body in many ways. So, for example, if it affects your digestive microbiome, such as the bifidobacterium in your gut, what that can do is that can actually cause digestive issues. So a person who's maybe had broad spectrum antibiotics for a long time will have to keep an eye on their digestion to make sure that everything's going okay. Also, your immune system is massively affected by your microbiome. So your microbiome is classed as something called a primary defense, which is where if a harmful organism is trying to enter the body, things such as the mucus in your nose, sometimes maybe even your eyelashes, things like that, those are your body's first defense against these microorganisms before your main sort of innate immune system can begin working. So they may not even have to bother doing anything if your primary defenses work first, and your microbiome is part of that. So if somebody's been incredibly unwell, or maybe they've had some drugs which can reduce their immune system and can maybe affect your microbiome, this person would have to take some time being extra careful. So maybe they're kept in quarantine if it's really, really bad. We all know what that word means at the moment. Or possibly just washing your hands more often and being more careful if you've recently had your microbiome depleted in any way, because your immune system could be severely affected. So those are just a few examples as to why the microbiome is really helpful for us and why it's there and what sort of organisms you can find. Now there's loads of places you can go and find information on the microbiome if you find this topic interesting. I won't talk about these for too long, but just in the description below or to the side or wherever it is, I've put some links for further reading on the microbiome because I've actually written some articles about it in the past. So you can take a look at how the microbiome affects aging, how antibiotics can affect the microbiome, and finally how the microbiome can interact with your own cells in your body and sort of form a relationship. So if you find any of this interesting, do be sure to check out those links. Thanks for watching today's session, guys. I've really enjoyed talking about this topic. As a microbiologist, I find this topic super interesting, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it as well. So do make sure to keep an eye on our Twitter for Micro Mondays, Wild Wednesdays and Forensic Fridays. And also please make sure to have a look at the link below and check out our website, because there are loads of free STEM learning resources, worksheets, posters, craft activities, so much to do, all for free. So make sure you check that out, and I will see you guys next week for another Micro Monday. So bye guys.